So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to ensure that when a supervisor authorises the service learning for the student, they will disappear from this sheet. In order to do that, we need to start setting some flags, okay, based on the results in these columns here. So first of all, we're going to add a new column to the right here. And this is going to be, did the student attend and meet expectations? So let's put that, did the student. Okay, so basically, if that's yes and that's yes, then we want to put a flag in here, okay? So we need to write a formula for this. The function we're going to start with, and we're going to build this formula, the function we're going to start with is the AND function. So we're going to say AND, so if this equals yes, and this equals yes, put a value. So if we was to change this in our service supervisor, if we change that to no, for example, and then go back here, when that changes, you can see it's gone to false. So let's change that back to yes for now, so just make sure it's working. Okay, but we don't want the word true or false to appear. We want a flag to appear here. So let's say if that AND function equals true, then we want to put a flag in. And we're going to use a flag of the letter A. So let's see if that happens. And there we go. In an if statement, we can actually use the else a part of the function. So that's saying if that function, if the AND function is true, then put an A. If it doesn't, then let's just have a blank cell. Okay, so now that will go blank. Okay, and then we can copy this down. All right, so let's go back to here and change that to yes again. We can test this out, so that should go back to an A. Now we want to add another column, because what this is doing, it's only saying if both of them are yes. So we need to add another one. The student, so did the student attend but didn't meet expectations? So that means this will be yes and this will be no. Okay, so we're going to do a similar formula here. So we're going to say equals and if that is yes, if P2 is yes, and Q2 is no, then print the result. So that should be false. If we change that to a no now, there it goes to true. So let's put a flag in there now. So if that happens, so if that AND function equals true, then put a flag of an A. If it doesn't, put a blank, and there we go. Bring this down here like this, and there we go. There we've copied our formulas down. Okay, so that's 2 of the 3 columns that we need to do for our flag. So let's insert another column. So this column is saying, well, if the student did not attend, okay, if the student just did not attend. So let's put in here, did not attend. So let's do the same thing again, equals and if the student, if P2 equals no, and now in our form, if the student didn't attend, then it wouldn't ask the question about expectations. So in this case, what we're saying is Q2 is got to be equal to blank, because there won't be any value in there if the student didn't attend the service. So we can say here, that's going to be false. Let's just change this to a no and delete that just to see if it works. And there we go, it goes to true. So again, we need to put an if statement in front. If that is equal to true, then put an A, otherwise put a blank. There we go. And then we've got our A, and let's just copy that down. Now, the final column we want to put in is a concatenation of all 3 of these columns. So we can call this flag. This is our ultimate flag. This is what's going to trigger the emails that get sent out. It's going to make sure that these are triggered here, service 1 and service 2. So we need to actually concatenate these. So we're going to say equals, And let's just do a simple ampersand concatenate equals S2 ampersand T2 and Y2. And then we have our flag, and there we go. There is our flag. Okay, so that is now registering our flag. What we want to do now is we want to go back to the service 1 and we want to add to this formula. So we're going to have to do this in service 1 and service 2. Now, we couldn't do this earlier on. So now we want to go into this formula. So in this formula, we want to actually say that when column V is empty, we want it to return all the information. So first of all, we need to delete one of these quotes here, all right, because we don't want to end it yet. We want to put and column V is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 quotes, a fifth one to finish it off, and then we want to put a 1 there to sort it in the correct order. And then we return, and there we go, it's disappeared. So now what we can do is we just say delete Marge Simpson there, all right, that was service 1, and then come back to here. We should now see Marge Simpson appear in here because the flag did not trigger. And the flag is in here. There's no flag there. So in service 1, all of Marge Simpson's information is actually returned. And then this will then go back to the form and only populate. So in a few seconds time, we'll find that this will populate. And we can actually force that by going to Form Ranger, Start, and there we go. It's actually done it as we start Form Ranger, it actually starts it. So it's only picked out Marge Simpson because we don't want the other students there because the supervisor has already approved them. So what we need to do is we need to do the same for service 2. So let's just change the formula here. So delete one of the quotes and then put in and column V. Let's just check column V equals 1, 2, 3, 4 quotes. And then a final quote to finish it off, followed by a 1 to actually sort it and then return that. And there you see everything has disappeared. Okay, so that's how we set up our flags. The flags are going to trigger the email and the documentation that goes out to the student and supervisor and manager.